95, came up 81. 5 Virginians a day were dying because of her broken policies. And she voted against the Lake and Riley Act, which simply said this: if you're a criminal and you're illegally here, you got to go home. We're going to send you home. But Abigail decided, no, we must keep the criminals who are illegally here. Sanctuary state, she said, if she's governor. Why? Why do we want... Abigail, I'm going to send you to Maryland again. I'm going to send you to Maryland again because in Maryland, they're soft on crime. In Maryland, they are soft on crime. As a matter of fact, in D.C., when she was still in Congress, she voted to reduce crimes, the penalties that they had to pay. She reduced the penalties on things like kidnapping and murder. What in the world? And no cash bail. I mean, it was so bad, the bill she voted for, that even Biden vetoed it. Even Biden said, no, we can't do that. What? And speaking of Biden, Abigail kept talking about how she was always with Biden, always running around with him. Well, you know what that means? She saw his cognitively declining, and she said nothing. She said nothing. And it put the United States in a bad way. Why? Because the rogue nations of the world were in the same rooms and saw he was in decline. And that's why you see these things that happen on the national stage and international stage. We can't afford Abigail. Abigail is for Abigail and nobody else. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to send her to Maryland again. Actually, I think California has a job opening. So we'll send her to California too. Because she wants to put us back in something called the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative, which means they're going to tell you what kind of stove you can buy, and it's only electric. They're going to tell you what car you can drive, and it's only electric. I mean, what are you doing in my kitchen, Abigail? Stay in your own kitchen. You know, look, we cannot have her. She doesn't now. Let me tell you about the jobs that she's not going to create, the jobs that she's going to kill. We have created, since we've been in office, over 270,000 people back to work. 270,000 back to work. We've got over 200,000 jobs that are still available, and we're creating more. But Abigail's problem is she's never been here when we were creating all these jobs. Again, each job is a life. Each job is a family. There are people behind these numbers, and she would destroy all of that because she's going to get rid of the right to work. And what that means, of course, is, which is what she voted for and she's trying to run away from, she voted to force every single state to become a union state. And that means, and imagine, you know, me as an immigrant to this great country, when I'm doing a naturalization ceremony, I say to the new Americans, welcome to this wonderful country where your freedoms and liberties are honored. But I tell you what, if you're going to get a job in America, you're going to have to join a union. And if you're going to keep the job, you're going to have to pay union dues, whether you like it or not. Does that sound like liberty? No. Does that sound like freedom? No. There are 26 other states, including Guam, who honor your right to work without being forced to join a union. You know what will happen if Abigail wins, which she won't. But you know what will happen? Those businesses that have made commitments here, they will go, they will leave and go to these other states. We cannot afford her. We have come too far, and we've still got ways to go. Folks, we will not have Abigail. She will take us back. She will take us back. You know, Abigail is going to need on-the-job training. I don't. I've been doing the work. Where has Abigail been? I've been doing the work. I am ready to take command on day one. That's what I'm ready to do. So, I was very surprised during the debate when Abigail said she wasn't going to get rid of right to work. I almost swallowed my saliva raw. This woman, she just lies. All this time. She voted for that. And then here's the other thing. You know, I am going to keep our girl children safe in locker rooms, in sports, in bathrooms. And here's what I'd like the media to do for once. Stop asking her if she supports men in girls' locker rooms. She doesn't just support it, she voted for it. Ask her, why did she vote for it? But I asked her the same question on the debate stage. And finally, she said she doesn't support men. What you been doing all this time? Again, another lie, because the very next question, she went right back to her old habit. She believes in girls being forced to undress in the locker room with men. It's happening. It's happening in Prince William. It's happening in Arlington. Did you see the ad with that mother whose daughter came crying to her about being forced to do it? And that's why I asked Abigail that question. Abigail, what if your daughter came crying to you because she was forced? And Abigail said nothing. Nothing. Crickets. Crickets. Here is the problem. One of her daughters were sitting out there in the audience. Do you think the daughter thought, Mom, say something? Folks, we cannot have Abigail Spanberger. Abigail is for Abigail. And let me tell you why I know. Because throughout the summer, we were both asked, I was asked, and Abigail was asked, will you redistrict in Virginia? In other words, will you gerrymander? And I said no, and she said no. She had no plans to take it up. Well, then Wednesday of last week came, and what did we discover? Abigail took $150,000 from the Democrat Redistricting Committee, and 24 hours later, surprise, surprise, we were redistricting. So Abigail Spanberger sold out Virginia for $150,000. We can't afford Abigail. If she will do this in the light, what will she do behind closed doors? Abigail is for Abigail. We don't want Abigail. She should go to Maryland. To Maryland. So we've talked about taxes. And by the way, speaking of taxes, you know, this goes to safety. When I look at our law enforcement and I think about where the Democrats took us during COVID, where they decimated our law enforcement, where the police and the sheriffs were leaving and Department of Corrections personnel were leaving, we weren't safe. They were demoralized, and because you hired us, Jason, me, and our great governor, we were able to bring them back and boost their morale and boost their ranks so that we would be safe and secure. Well, not with Abigail, because she took money from AOC's PAC that said, you sign here that you will defund the police, and she voted to get rid of their qualified immunity, which means this: if you take this job and you go out on a call, anything goes wrong, guess what? Your house will be taken from you, your bank account, any asset that you have, you can be sued and lose everything. Would you take such a job? No. And that's why the sheriffs have said, you lose, which we won't, but we're not staying. We're not staying, so we can't afford Abigail. That's why I have more than 81 sheriffs who have endorsed me. Yes, Republicans and Democrats and independents have endorsed me. We are going to win. We are going to win. We are going to win. So, I got to tell you, we've talked about taxes, and just to make sure that we understand what we're talking about, the first $20,000 in salary that we pay to our law enforcement and our fire and EMS, I am going to make sure it is not taxed. That's money back in their pockets. That's money in their pockets. Money in their pockets. Folks, how many of you have already voted? Woo! All right. The rest of you are lollygagging. Now, I need you, we need you to go and vote. You've got to vote. You've got to get Kim Taylor back in. If Kim doesn't win, we don't win back the House. Kim has to win. Come on up here, Kim. And we need our Attorney General, Jason Miyares. Come on up, Jason. Woo! And we need John Reed back. Yes, we need him in. And we're so glad our great governor has brought us here, and we've got a long way to go. Come on, Governor. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless our great Virginia. Woo!